If only I could go back in time and teach myself this one technique a couple of years ago. Hey friends, today I want to share with you my technique for growth and progress. And I actually started doing it this way about 2 years ago, and since then it has transformed my life in a big way. The path to success doesn't have shortcuts, sorry. It's all about the motivation, ambition and consistency. The more we practice something, the better we get at it. But our minds are not really that happy with all that hard work, and instead it would prefer to, procrastinate a bit, watch some Netflix, play some games, and just move all that work, all that hard work and effort to later. Or to never, but we always tell ourselves that it's gonna be later, and of course we're gonna do that work, but right now let's just watch a TV show. I use a method of paper-based streaks. Streaks are very good for motivation because if you've been doing something for a longer period of time, it's really hard to break a streak, and actually that fear of breaking the streak is stronger than the motivation to procrastinate. Before the activity becomes a true habit and starts to form a streak, I add it to my paper to-do list. This is like a little notebook that's on my desk every single day, all the time, and I'm looking at it basically every time I look away from my display. After a couple of weeks, it can become a habit, and then I can stop adding it to the daily to-do list. But for the first few weeks, it's really essential that you add it, because if it's on your to-do list, you just simply have to do it, and of course it's difficult, of course it's really demotivating, and of course you would prefer to do other things. But if you do it consistently day in and day out for a couple of weeks, then you can stop adding it because it just became a streak for you. And learning this method doesn't have to be all about work. You can start with other smaller things like reading for half an hour every day, or meditating, or stretching, which is really helpful if you're working at the computer for a longer time, or anything that's small and pretty easy to do. The goal here is to practice commitment, because after you've been doing a streak for a while, you'll be able to actually transfer the commitment to other areas of what you're doing. So your work, your career, your personal development, anything that you like. I have a couple of streaks like that, but my favorite one by far is the Wim Hof method breathing. I've been doing this breathing exercise for over 680 days in a row, and I haven't missed a single one. Now imagine how I would feel if I decided to not do it today. That would be devastating, because if you've been doing something for so long, it simply becomes your natural thing, and there is no amount of procrastination that can break that. The other streak that I'm doing is a monthly streak, so I do something once a month, and in my case, it's running 21 kilometers every month of 2021. And this goal is actually pretty difficult, and it requires a lot of motivation, because I like running, but I don't really like running distances like 21K. So to be motivated to do this consistently every month is like a different kind of streak practice. And of course, if you want to get great at the things you do, like design, coding, or whatever work that you're actually practicing right now, you need to do it daily, and you need to start to form a streak out of it. It doesn't have to be long. It can be 30 minutes of like a design exercise or coding exercise or just anything. And after a while, you'll just realize that you have to do it, and you have to do it to, first of all, progress daily, but at the same time, you'll have to do it because you've been doing it for a couple of months, and breaking it now would be just silly. So start forming those streaks and start small. You don't even have to start with work. As I said, you can start with like a simple stretch, a 10-minute stretch, but do it every single day. And after you do it for a month, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to actually add something work-related to the streaks. Remember, small steps with consistency form the bigger goals. Good luck.